In Virginia, an unusual turn of events in the state Senate is the reason a bill aimed at closing the so-called gun show loophole is being voted on again today. That bill, requiring private dealers at gun shows to perform background checks on buyers, was actually defeated yesterday by a vote of 22 to 18. But when Senator Charles Colgan realized he made a mistake and voted against the measure, he asked to have the vote taken again. So the anti-gunners have been working overtime trying to convince two Republican senators to change their votes. Dave Adams of the Virginia Shooting Sports Association joins us now with the latest. Dave, as always, great to talk to you, and what an unusual turn of events we witnessed there at the state Senate. But the vote taken again today, tell us what happened.
Well, they took the vote today, and only Senator Colgan switched from voting against the bill, so it came out 19 to 21, so the bill is dead in the Senate for this year.
Boy, have you ever witnessed anything like what you saw yesterday?
Well, I have seen bills reconsidered in the past. I was a little surprised only because later in the day, Senator Marsh also cast a vote the wrong way on the concealed carry bill, the restaurant ban repeal, and instead of asking that it be reconsidered, he just put in the minutes of the session that he had voted the wrong way. Colgan could have done the same thing. I personally think it was set up to give Marsh another day to try to work a couple of members, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, it's too coincidental. Pushing the wrong buttons, too easy.
Well, yeah, that's correct. And, you know, the anti-gun folks went out with an email last night asking their folks to put pressures on Senator Stosh from Henrico and Senator Watkins from Chesterfield, thinking that they might waver, but in the end, they stayed and stuck with gun owners and voted the right way today.
Yep, as you said, last-minute politicking, and boy, were they determined, but it didn't work out, and that's great news.
And that's the General Assembly for you.
So now there's another bill you got your eye on.
Yes, Senate Bill 1385 is Senator Ken Stolley's bill that would require gun show promoters to pay for a state police presence at all gun shows. He had asked that that bill be held in committee until they found out what would happen with 1257, the gun show bill. Now that that bill has died, Senator Stolley's bill is on the docket for courts of justice today. It's a very long docket, so they may or may not get to it today, but that's another bill that gun owners need to look out for and defeat if it gets out of committee.
How does it look at this point? I know it's always hard to tell, but what do you see?
Well, it may get out of committee because Senator Stolley is one of the committee members. He had voted against the gun show bill, so I would expect him to vote for his own bill. So when it gets on the floor, it will be another close vote because folks may be looking for an alternative to causing folks to go through a background check on private sales. They may see this as an alternative, but this is a tax on gun show promoters. It requires gun show promoters to pay a state police officer, and state police officers, it wouldn't be somebody that's on duty, it would be off-duty guys, and those guys get paid at like double time and a half.
And Dave, it's also one more way just to make it tough for these gun shows to even stay in business.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, we saw some difficulties at Richmond gun shows 2 years ago where ATF were set up doing some type of sting operation with the Richmond City Police. They went a little bit overboard. They were called into committee to explain exactly why they did what they did, and they haven't been back since then. So this is just one more way, and in fact, Senate Bill 1385 would grant federal police powers to the state police, and that's another thing that we don't want to see happen.
So again, people need to get on the phone, send in their emails. There's still time to make a difference.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, and thanks, and we'll get an update tonight on Camp Show, it sounds like.
Thanks, Jenny.
Alrighty, take care.